So, hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar between Cointree and BGL. So today we'll be taking you and showing you through the cryptocurrency platform Cointree, showing you obviously how crypto works within BGL and obviously the tight integration in between. All attendees will be in listen-only mode for today. So you won't be able to ask any questions using your telephone or microphone. However, if you do have any questions, please input them into the Q&A section and we will get to them when we can. If you do have any, obviously, questions that we can't answer today, we'll get back to you at a later stage. Today's session will also be recorded, so if you do drop out or have to leave early, we will post it up on our YouTube channel and we'll send all attendees a link to view the recording at a later stage as well. So today's webinar obviously comes with the general advice warnings. So obviously all information in today's webinar is for, general information purposes only, and is not intended to provide any sort of financial, investment, accounting, tax, or legal advice. So please obviously take consideration of your personal circumstances and get the appropriate advice before acting obviously on anything that's shown in today's webinar. Okay, so on today's session, we're going to be covering, three distinct topics, obviously crypto and SMSFs, an introduction to those who haven't seen before, the Cointree platform, and obviously showing the Simple Fund 360 and Cointree integration. So I'm joined today by two members of the Cointree, family, Jess Render and Shane Stevenson. So I think, Jess, you're on the mic. So Jess, want to introduce yourself?
I am. Hi, Jeevan. Thanks for having us today. I'm Jess, Head of Operations, and I've got Shane with me as well.
Yeah, hi, everyone.
Okay, so Jess and Shane will be happy to answer any questions you do have on, Cointree or crypto, so please input those. Starting today, I'm going to start with a poll there. Oops, back a slide. We'd like to know just a bit about yourself, so you should have the poll there on screen, which you'll be able to answer. So just give people a few more questions. So two questions are there you can see on screen is how much knowledge do you currently have on crypto? And I guess for our professional clients, do you currently have any clients that are currently investing in crypto? And obviously in today's webinar, I'm assuming the attendees, we have a wide range in terms of SMSF professionals, SMSF trustees, and obviously crypto investors. So obviously our audience is quite mixed, and we'll be happy to handle obviously questions based on the wide audience. Okay, allow just a few more seconds. Okay, so you can see on the screen there, I guess most people here, in the webinar there have basic knowledge, as you can see there on crypto. And I guess obviously for a lot of our professional clients there, a lot are currently investing in crypto, which is I suppose a good thing to see, especially probably I'm sure from Jess and Shane's perspective.
Yeah, definitely. That's really interesting. Thanks everyone for submitting those answers. Look forward to hopefully enlightening you all on some crypto info today.
Okay, so I'll move on there to the next section, which will be, covering crypto and SMSFs. So I guess first thing there, cryptocurrency, like a lot of investments, is allowed to be, held by an SMSF. And obviously, like a lot of investments, the same typical rules do apply. So I guess first one there is ensuring cryptocurrency is allowed under your SMSF's trust deed. So there's no distinct rules that state, that there needs to be a separate section for cryptocurrency, or that needs to be particularly mentioned that that investment is allowed. But I guess two things like any investment is, first of all, ensuring that it's allowed. And what I've seen in the past that a lot of auditors recently would like to see a specific section. And there's a lot of trustee providers out there now that are providing, specific clauses or specific trust deeds to obviously cover to cover crypto and make sure that it's allowed as investment there by the fund. Second one there is the SMSF's investment strategy. So for those of you that obviously dealing with SMSFs or have an SMSF, the investment strategy obviously is the plan in terms of what the SMSF can and can't invest in based on obviously the risk profile, I guess currently, attitudes towards risk, I guess what the fund's overall strategy is, in terms of, retirement planning, and getting money in and out, liquidity, etc. So for the investment strategy, it's obviously very important to ensure that that reflects that the SMSF's, the direction of the trustees of the SMSF is to invest into crypto, and they're comfortable, obviously, with the level of risk that's undertaken. For those obviously in the industry, you would have seen late last year, the ATO was targeting SMSFs that only had an LRBA and over 90% of their assets invested into a single property or into a property. So very similar, if you have an SMSF that's solely invested in crypto, again, that could become subject in the future or come to the attention that of the ATO. And obviously ensuring that your investment strategy obviously reflects the which is there of the trustee and it's taken into consideration. Next point there is obviously making sure that the investment's not breaching the sole purpose test. So obviously for an SMSF, that must be maintained for the sole purpose of providing retirement benefits to, the trustees and members, or their dependents, if the member or trustee dies before retirement. The super laws, they're in to ensure that, money's held separately from that of your personal assets. So obviously, if the crypto investors there is investing in, crypto in their personal name and in their SMSF, it's ensuring that those obviously investments are held in separate accounts and maintained separately. Also, with a lot of rules, the SMSF, the ATO has certain rules about what investments can be purchased from related parties, and obviously with crypto, that doesn't fall under those exceptions. So crypto can't be purchased from a related party. So obviously on a platform like Cointree, that's well and truly allowed, but in terms of related party transactions, that's not allowed. Okay, so in terms of, getting some, year-end, tax and year-end record keeping there. So number one there is, valuation for June 30 or when the interim reports are produced. So the ATO's stated in its guidance that the ATO will accept, valuation that on a published website. So say on a website such as Cointree or on a historical report that has been produced. And I think the ATO, very similar to other things, is looking to produce an average price guide at a later stage too, that will can be available to everyone. So if those that don't have a located price, they can obviously get that and insert there into SMSF 360, so it can be obviously up-to-date value and equal to that. With number two there, the ATO has deemed cryptocurrency to be a CGT asset, and I've given the link there to the tax determination. So with that, obviously, looking at the very nature and the word currency, a lot of people are looking for CGT purposes of whether it does fall under a currency, and does things like foreign currency exchange apply, or in terms of for both CGT purposes or foreign exchange. The ATO has, stated there in its guidance that any sales or purchases of cryptocurrency are deemed to be a CGT asset, and obviously the CGT provisions will apply. So three, like anything, is good record keeping. So I'm sure Jess will touch on later what's can be produced there out of Cointree. But like any investment, for record keeping for both the auditor or for both obviously tax record keeping as well, is any records need to be kept in terms of the date of the transaction, the value of the cryptocurrency, and making sure that it's obviously reflected into Australian dollars. And obviously at the time there, and who the transaction was for, making sure that that's in the name, obviously, of the trustee or the SMSF there as well. Last point there, I guess, for GST, I guess the ATOs, I guess, deem that the sales and purchases aren't subject to GST. So it means, I guess, similar to other investments, that GST is not applicable on the straight buy or sell. But obviously, if the fund's registered for GST and there's any additional brokerage or fees that are charged and there's GST applicable to those, that you may be obviously subject to those as I suppose, might be able to apply for those in terms of input credits as well. With crypto and audit, so I guess what your auditor's looking at. So number one there is the valuation of June 30. So as we mentioned, that can be the valuation at from the actual exchange itself, or it could be that you've got sort of some sort of evidence of. So like, I suppose, tying 1 and 3 together there, make sure they've got some sort of evidence or record keeping. Number 2 is, I guess, around wallets. So obviously the importance there is, you know, the wallet, again, the wallet that you have there and access to that wallet. No auditor should really be asking you directly for access to your auditor, sorry, your wallet, because obviously then they've got the keys to your crypto or your investment. So again, in terms of wallets, they should not be handed over to an auditor at any exchange, or should not be given to, I guess, any third party in that circumstance. So just be wary if they are asking for that. We have seen, I guess, other cases where to provide evidence, you do something like a screen sharing exercise or a print screen, rather than actually providing access there to the necessary wallets. And item 4 there is, I guess, ATO data matching. So I guess the ATO, like a lot of investments, is looking to collate data or started collating data around this. So in the future, they'll obviously have a record and obviously be targeting those that are not inputting the correct amounts there into the necessary, I guess, tax return. Okay, so for the next part, I'll hand over to Jess. So Jess, you should be able to share your screen.
Let's have a look here. Right, Jeeves, might need you to stop your screen sharing for a moment.
Sure.
Thanks. Oops, that's not good. Oh wow, that's so fabulous. Start to our prezzo. All right, here we go.
That's all good.
Thank you, Jeevan. All right, that's always fantastic to cover everything from the side of, I guess, the tax side of things. It's something that's really important, and particularly at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hand over to Shane. He's going to give us a quick run through on who we are and how we became Cointree, and then I'll run you through the platform from there. So quickly over to Shane.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. And maybe we'll see if we can get ourselves up on video as well.
Yeah, Jeeves, if you can have a look at that for us.
Sure, I'll do that now, yes. I can find out why.
But meanwhile, I can give a very quick intro into Cointree and exchanges. So Cointree is a cryptocurrency exchange based in Melbourne. And our mission is to make cryptocurrency as easy for everyone. And that includes individuals, companies, and also SMSFs. When we first started out about 6 years ago, it was all about Bitcoin. But however, since then, there are many, many cryptocurrencies. And we make it easy to get into over 100 of the most popular cryptocurrencies. We also have a bunch of unique features that Jess will demonstrate shortly. As an Australian exchange, we are AUSTRAC registered, which has been a requirement for all Australian exchanges since 2018. And whether you use Cointree or another service, it's always good to make sure that they are AUSTRAC registered. Over to you, Jess.
Thanks, Shane. All right, let's see how we go here. All right, I'm going to run you through a little bit about our platform, how to sign up, deposit and trade. I'll also cover the application process for a self-managed super fund or a trust using Cointree. I'll run through the Simple Fund 360 export, which is very easy, some tax tools, transaction reporting, and then our best performing portfolios and our pay bill features. All right, first of all, this is Cointree. We make buying, selling cryptocurrency easy for everyone. As you can see on the left-hand side, we have our best performing coin portfolios. This is a unique feature, which I will run into in some detail a little bit later on, but it's displaying the 7-day performance of best performing coins. Over on the right, you've got your popular, trending, and moving coins. And these are live prices, so you can keep up to date with prices at any time using the homepage. What I'll run through is how to get started. The majority of our applications come through initially as a personal account. It's as simple as clicking our Get Started button up the top here, where you'll be able to enter in your email address and register your account. What I want to run through today is how to set up the SMSF and what documents we need from there. This is our self-managed super fund page. It's accessible from the top menu. We have another little quick webinar as well here on some do's and don'ts on what to do with your self-managed super fund. But what I want to point out today is what we require to onboard you. All personal accounts require to go through 100 points of ID. It's a standard KYC or verification that we are required to do on all of our members. When we look at setting up a self-managed super fund, it's important that we have additional documents. And if I've got the majority of you are accountants here, you'll of course understand that we require certified ID. So that could be a driver's license or passport for all directors and trustees. So we actually conduct the extended due diligence process for all members of the fund. We will require the certified trust deed as well, ABN, account name, and any trust beneficiary details. The application form is easy to set up online, and you'll be able to go through this link if you do have any, any questions on what else is required. The form is here. Once this is submitted, it'll come through to our team who will be able to review the application and come back to you if we've got any questions. Usually a straightforward process if all the documents have been provided, and once we conduct that due diligence, we'll be able to set the account up for you. Okay. Oh. I've taken a quick jump through to our dashboard, and I'm going to run through our onboarding. So once you've set up your account with Cointree, as easy as entering in your email address and a few personal details, it will take you through to our dashboard. Now, this is a complete dashboard. As you can see, there is trades, there are some star coins and accounts. Once you have got your account completely verified, this is what your dashboard will look like. You can see at the top menu here, we have a portfolio tracker listing daily trades. So you can see your portfolio value at each day. And this is a total value of your portfolio. So it's not specific for one coin, it's actually the total asset. So if you're looking at viewing an approximate balance for a fund or approximate portfolio balance for the fund, you'll be able to see little, daily changes here. On the right-hand side, we've got your top accounts. So top accounts are top coins and coin balances you'll have, plus any AUD funds that the fund or the member may have as well. A little bit further down, we have starred coins. This is a unique feature as well, where you'll be able to choose some coins. So if perhaps you're individually interested, or if you've got a client who's interested in certain coins, you can track the 7-day trends and the 24-hour prices on any coins that you're interested in. We also have an easy option if you decide to buy a coin directly from there. You'll be able to select it from the drop-down. And lastly, on your dashboard is recent transactions. Once you commence trading, you'll be able to see any transactions that are made on the platform just easily from your dashboard. Once you're familiar with your dashboard, the next area to go to will be depositing some AUD into your account. Once you select the deposit cash option, you'll see here 4 different options available. We have online, which is standard online EFT transfers. We have Poly, which is an instant payment, which will facilitate your balance that you'll be able to buy coin at that time. We have a cash option, which is available at 1,300 participating outlets, such as newsagents across Australia, where you can select this option and then you'll be able to go down to the newsagents and be able to pay in cash. Last, we have recurring. Recurring is a fantastic way for anyone, being a fund or an individual, to be able to set up recurring payments or recurring purchases. So you can set up a recurring amount on weekly, fortnightly or monthly basis. And what this will do, this will credit your Cointree account and automatically buy Bitcoin for you. It's a great way to dollar cost average, and it's a really popular feature amongst our members. I'll show you how easy it is to make a deposit by entering in the amount here. We'll just do $50 for the sake of the demonstration. Our minimum deposit amount is $20. If we're looking at a self-managed super fund account or a trust account, there's actually no limits on a deposit. It's actually at our high value status. So it provides that flexibility for those running their SMSF that they can deposit a large amount at any time. You'll see down here at the deposit summary, we obviously have the amount, and there is a section for a payment processor fee. That's only applicable with poly and cash deposits. Obviously, there is a payment processor involved. At all times, whenever you process a deposit or a buy, sell, or trade on the platform, we do obviously have an accepting of terms and conditions here, which you can read at your leisure. I'm going to select confirm whilst this processes. All right, and we're ready to receive your deposit. So this is the same process that applies for any amount that you decide to use on the platform. What is really important is the reference number. We like to point that out, that for anyone that does make a deposit, the reference number is really important to be quoted, so we can make sure your deposit is allocated automatically to your account. Now that I've deposited some cash, I'm going to have a look at buying coin. You can see from the buy, sell, trade option at the top, we have a convenient page which lists all 100 coins. There's a lot to go through, so I won't run through all of the coins that we have available, but you can see there's a very big variety. Our best performing portfolios helps narrow down some choices for you, obviously showing the performance of certain coins during the week. We select buy coin at the top. What I'm going to do is pop in here $100, and I can choose any coin to buy. Some exchanges may have pair restrictions depending on what you're familiar with. However, our platform, you can go straight from AUD to any of the 100 coins, so you can purchase what you like. As most of our members here today have said, they're quite a beginner audience. I'll select Bitcoin. Everybody I'm sure has heard of Bitcoin. You can have the option to have a note field. So for an SMSF, this is quite important if you want to be able to, I guess, keep track of a certain investment for a particular purpose. You can use our freeform note field as well. We've got a couple of questions popping up, but we're answering those at the moment, I can see.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure thing. We have a question here about bringing crypto in from another provider into Cointree, or vice versa, I suppose. And the question is, do the coins need to be sold and repurchased? It's good to get proper professional advice on this, but it's our understanding that if you are moving coins between providers or even personal wallets or SMSF crypto wallets, that there is no need to kind of buy or sell crypto. As far as ATO is concerned, it's about the sale events where capital gains tax is considered. So there's no need to buy or sell crypto as you move it around between various service providers.
Have we got any others or not at the moment?
We have one about, is the halving going to make us all rich? The halving is basically a reduction of supply of Bitcoin for everyone who's unfamiliar with what Bitcoin halving is, and it's an event that has just occurred in the last 24 hours actually, to much of the community's excitement. So a reduction of Bitcoin supply has traditionally meant a spike in Bitcoin price about maybe 4 to 6 months after the halving event occurs. So hence why there's a lot of excitement. I guess we don't have a crystal ball.
I wish we did.
And this time there's a lot more excitement, and also lots of people watching this particular halving. So we would encourage everyone to exercise some caution with maybe hedging some bets on this one, leading to a spike there.
All right, thank you for those questions. I'll continue on, and then we're happy to keep trying to answer some of these live as well for you. just having a look here at our buy page, just to finalise that, we can see that we have our $100 of AUD down the bottom, and then there is a small fee that is charged. That's part of our, I guess, that's part of the Cointree platform. I'll direct you to where fees are and where they start, but they start as low as 0.9%. It's based on trading volume, and I can direct you to the page for more information on that later. You'll then see here how much coin that we'll be able to buy. As soon as you accept the terms and conditions for any trade, as I've mentioned, it is final. So once we make this purchase, it will be final. So just let that go through. This is the really important feature for SMSFs, is being able to view the transactions, and that's what I'm going to jump to now. So you can see that the purchase order has been placed. I'm going to take you through to our accounts and transactions here. It's going to work for me. I don't know why it's not working. Go here. All right, you can see that this order is still processing. It'll take a minute to refresh. What I am going to run you through is how our Simple Fund 360 export works and other tax tools from this screen. This is really important as accountants to know what information exchanges have available, and we have some unique export options, obviously, including the Simple Fund 360 file. We've listed it here as export file, BGL file here. As soon as you select export and have that downloaded, you'll then be able to import that into Simple Fund 360. I know Jeevan's going to touch on that very shortly as to how that comes through to Simple Fund 360, but it's as easy as that. So if you do have any clients that are members with us at Cointree or want to be, this is exactly the files that they'll be able to obtain. Other tax tools we have available here are the CSV orders. Let's have a look. Exporting your transactions. So this is a CSV export of everything, every single movement on your account or on the funds account as well will be listed in this transaction. We have the ability to be imported on other crypto tax tools as well. And if you're after more information on what's supported, I can certainly help you out with that after as well. What I'd like to show you in particular, which is relevant today, is holding statements. I'll download this and open one up so you can see what they look like. Just give me a moment. What we do at Cointree, we provide monthly holding statements. So you'll be able to see here that we have all account balances for each coin that's held at the beginning of that month. So you can value the fund and the assets by obviously having a look at balance and what the AUD value is at that time. We provide them, as I mentioned, on a monthly basis. So if you do have any clients that are members of ours, this reporting is all included. See if I can go back to where I was at. Nice and easy. The last option is invoices. A question I get asked all the time, and that's from individual members as well as SMSF members, is do you provide invoices for every trade or every transaction? We do. This is a full export of all invoices available, and I'll open this up now so you can see the detail that's included, and some of this information is obviously what comes through on the BGL file as well. This is for the buy that we've just placed today. As you can see here, it's got a unique invoice number and your time and date, and then all of the values. So obviously AUD, your Bitcoin quantity, any commission paid, and GST, and then total amount. As accountants, we spoke to some of you last year actually at the BGL Roadshow, and I know this was a very popular request to be able to have invoicing, because we're very aware that some clients obviously haven't, I guess, kept up with recording their transactions, and we obviously understand how important that is, so we've made it nice and easy for you. All right. That's a summary of what tax tools we have available. Exports, the Simple Fund 360 export as well. For further clarification on anyone that does set up their SMSF and trust account, all of this will be in the SMSF name. So we have it in the SMSF name, so that it will obviously be recorded accordingly. We do have members who have a personal account and an SMSF account, and we ensure that they are kept completely separate with separate logins, separate security as well, like 2FA as well. And we also recommend that anyone who does have a self-managed super fund keeps their assets, separately as well.
can I just jump in there? That ties into a good question that we've got here, which is our clients' money is kept separate from their accounts. And it's very important that there's multiple ways we'll answer that question. If we're talking about, I guess, our accountants' clients and their own clients, it's always vital, as you said, Jess, that individuals keep their crypto, or I guess any portfolios, separate to their SMSFs.
Yes.
And we have heard of instances with other exchanges and their clients where things have got quite muddy because they haven't made that clear to their members. In terms of what we do as a company for, I guess, security and best practices, so we employ a hot wallet, cold wallet storage system, which has become an industry standard now for many, many years, where we only hold a small percentage of crypto balances essentially online, and about 95% of our crypto balances are held offline in secure vaults around Australia. It's seen as industry best practice, and we do everything that we can to ensure safety of client funds. We're getting a few questions pop up now, so should we tackle those before we jump into the next?
Yeah, let's do that before I touch on some of the other features we've got available as well.
We've got a good one here. So do we see professional advisors seeking to place clients into crypto and these digital assets becoming a long-term part of the wealth management sector as early as this year? And we do actually. We've had the view for a long time that there is going to be a blend of traditional assets and crypto assets as time goes on and the crypto industry matures and gains awareness. We're seeing a lot more projects and a lot more thinking that of a blend between the two there, and we are experiencing interest from wealth managers to try to educate and get familiar to be proactive in this space.
Yes, yeah.
How do I buy an SMSF if you've already got one set up? I thought crypto has to be bought in a personal name, so just maybe you can answer.
Yeah, so, and I think Jeevan also did cover this as well, and Jeevan, feel free to chime in on this one too. From our side of things, we would require you to obviously set up your self-managed super fund on our platform in that SMSF name. Jeevan, there are requirements though with the SMSF trustee that needs to be updated before that takes place.
Yeah, I think the question is more, it seems like it's more how do you buy it up. So I think as you touched on, it's probably more the account setup. So it's probably ensuring, obviously, if you're going with Cointree, Jess and the team will ensure that that account's set up correctly in the SMSF name. Like any investments for an SMSF, it shouldn't be in your personal name.
Yeah, and it works exactly the same. So regardless if you have a personal account or a self-managed super fund account, with us, the platform itself works exactly the same as well. And it's nice and easy, and we can certainly help you out. You can reach out to us afterwards and we'd be more than happy to help that out as well.
A few more questions here. Do the reports state the SMSF name or owner? And that's a definite yes.
Yes, they do. This is our test account, so excuse that it's not in an SMSF name, but yes, it certainly does.
Yeah, and that's part of the part that we get clarified during the onboarding process. So we essentially switch the account into a SMSF mode. Where we record those details and they're present in those sorts of documents. Another question here, if my trustee changes, how do I update my file with Cointree?
So you'll need to reach out to us and let us know of what trustee changes there have been, and obviously provide the relevant documentation that's been certified as well, and then we'll be able to make relevant changes from our side.
And one final one for now, which is, do our exports show airdrops, and how is that displayed on transactions? So for people unfamiliar with crypto at the moment, there's a concept of airdrops, which is essentially giving cryptocurrency away for free, usually very small amounts, and it's used to kind of gain some excitement for a particular project. The way that is handled from a tax perspective, so the short answer is yes, we would show that as a transaction, and I think the way that is handled from a tax perspective, and I stress the importance of getting professional advice on this, is that it's treated essentially as deemed a value at the time of receiving the coins, and therefore when you eventually sell that asset, you'll incur capital gains tax if it has gained value.
All right, thank you so much for all those questions. I'm going to just run through a couple of other features we've got available as well, which may be of interest. If it's not to, I guess, SMSFs, it may be to yourselves individually as well. We of course have trading coin to coin ability, where you can actually sell and buy any coin. So you can go from any coin to any coin. There's no restricted pairing. You can go from any of these, so you can choose Ethereum and use your full amount and buy any other coin that you would like to. And a lot of our customers find that, I guess, really appealing because it provides you with flexibility. You can choose whatever asset you want to purchase. You can do that by obviously going trading coin to coin, and it starts with a 0.25% fee, which is really, really low. The feature I want to run you through now is our pay bill. This is unique to Cointree. Other exchanges don't have this available, where you can pay any BPay bill in Australia using your crypto. Yes, there are invoices provided for this as well. When I've mentioned this feature at some events, we do get a lot of questions on it. All you need to do is enter in the biller code. This is going to pop up as a Vic Roads biller code because I did actually pay my husband's license renewal with our crypto not too long ago, and it's really, really easy. So you can just choose your AUD amount, and what it'll do is it'll bring up whichever coin you have available. Again, you can use any coin, so it doesn't just have to be Bitcoin. If you've got a lot of a coin that you decide you want to trade, well, you can also use that to pay your bill. Down below here, you will see that there is, we can handle all the conversions, all the complexities. You don't need to worry about any of that. And I guess from the accountant's side of things, there will be an invoice at the end of this as well, which you'll be able to reconcile to, which shows your bill amount, the conversion into BTC. There is a payment processor fee, as obviously there is a payment processor involved, and our Cointree fee. Nice and easy. That's all you need to do as soon as you press go, and we'll handle the rest.
Can I jump in with a quick question that's quite topical at the moment? Can you go back to TradeCoin for a second, Jess? Someone's asked a very good question here. Someone's asked a question where they've got a client who's used one of the larger global exchanges and has essentially done a coin-to-coin trade where there's no direct AUD value. And the reason I wanted to highlight this is because it showcases a couple of areas, and it shows there's a lot of exchanges out there that are not doing their reporting, or not focused on reporting needs for Australian customers. And this is a good example here where someone has traded 2 coins, and now the question is, well, what's the value of that trade? The way we handle that is in the invoices for any coin-to-coin trades. I don't know if we've actually got any set up or not, but we will always show an AUD equivalent of a particular trade. So here should be an example where we've gone Bitcoin, which is a cryptocurrency, to another cryptocurrency, and we'll show you the AUD equivalent value to help you work out capital gains tax.
Yes, yeah. And that's something that we made sure was implemented as well as part of our integration with BGL too. Any other questions to quickly touch on, or will they be able to, based on the AFSL? We have a question about if we are licensed or if we're holders of an AFSL. As you would have seen when I went through the pay bill transaction, there is a payment processor fee. We partner with another company called Gobble, and they're representatives of an AFSL. So they actually facilitate the payment of the bill. You can also get more information about them on our website too.
A few more questions here. If I pay my bill with crypto, is this essentially a sale? And the answer is yes. It is technically, as Jess has just explained, 2 events that we wrap into one, which is an exchange of cryptocurrency for AUD, and then our payment provider pays the bill.
Yeah.
And one last question for now, which is, as a beginner, can we suggest how much money is a good starting point for investing regularly? There's no definitive answer there. What we find traditionally with beginners is they will do a bit of dabbling, so they might trial a few small amounts just to get comfortable with cryptocurrency, and then as they gain confidence, they will invest larger amounts. We also have a pretty unique feature called regular deposits, which is a concept called daily cost averaging, which is buying regular amounts. Yeah, there it is there. It's just grayed out because we've used it previously. So what daily cost averaging is it's kind of investing over long term, small amounts over long term, and it's perfect for beginners, and also I guess maybe depends on your investment strategy, I suppose. But it's a nice, easy way to buy smallish amounts over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we find that a really popular option, but we also provide, our platform is obviously, it's easy, it's intuitive to use, and that's obviously what we like to promote, the ease of use of being able to get started on your crypto journey, and the minimum deposit amount is $20. So it works quite nicely for a lot of our members. I will show one last feature and then we'll move on to Jeevan and the Simple Fund 360 import. This is our best performing portfolios. This is in its, I should say, initial stage here of being able to display 7-day performance on best performing coins. The data we get from this is all, it's so exciting. I love seeing how coins are performing day to day, and it really starts to, I guess, give you some the interest in being able to diversify, you know, your investments, and which we think is really important in being able to see what options are available. So we've provided you with this tool, which we really look on developing further as well for our members. And you can see here, you've got coin prices, percentages, and you can actually view that coin information page as well. And that's something that if you'd like to learn more about any coins or anything else about Bitcoin or the platform, we actually have a great learning center, and we have coin information pages on every single coin we provide. I'll hand back over to Jeevan for now until we do a final, I guess, final wrap up. I've got another question.
We've got one last question that I guess is relevant to the portfolios and coins before we hand over to Jeevan. Someone's asked whether some crypto that I've never heard of before actually is still out there in the crypto world. And that's a really, actually, it brings up a couple of important points. One is that there are so many cryptocurrencies out there once you dive into cryptocurrency. What we do as an exchange is we actually don't list every single cryptocurrency because there are a lot of, I guess, we apply a lot of due diligence to the assets that we list on our platform. So the answer to Philip's question here is I've never heard of Dixon, cryptocurrency. But what we do is when we're vetting the coins, we make sure that they have been around for quite a while. They seem to be popular, and also active projects have got a bit of momentum in the community and aren't going to go anywhere anytime soon, and among other factors as well.
Yeah.
Is there a monthly account keeping fee for Cointree? There's no ongoing fees. Our revenue model is purely just on trades at this stage. And do I need an AFSL to be an advisor in digital assets? I don't know if I can answer that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Jeevan, do you have an answer for that one?
Yeah, it's a bit of it depends answer, but probably strictly, generally the answer is probably yes if you are advising clients to place money directly into crypto. But obviously it depends on the advice you're given in the circumstances. But maybe as a general overview, short answer is maybe yes. It's no different to advising a client to invest in property or invest in shares, etc. So the rules sort of aren't different for crypto. It is still an investment product.
All right, thank you. I'll hand back to you, Jeeves, and let's have a look here. Do I stop sharing? All right.
Cool. So you should be able to see my screen again. So just to finish off with, we'll cover, I guess, Simple Fund 360 and crypto. So if I jump now into Simple Fund 360, so I guess in our chart of accounts, we have added, it was over the last 12 months, a category there, investment category there, cryptocurrency. So you can go through and obviously add crypto either on a global or fund level to those accordingly, just like you can for any other investments there within Simple Fund 360. In terms of the data feed, so Jess obviously showed the export coming out. So to import that, go to connect and then manage data feeds, okay, and then under the wraps and platforms area there. To set up the feed, I'll just click on this one. It's already set up, but you'll need to select the feed provider as BGL file import, which is our generic import. The external account ID should be listed there as Cointree. And obviously you have to have the bank account associated directly with Cointree. You can set up there as well. Okay, so once the actual settings for the feed have been set up, okay, to manually import that file, go and select it from your folder. I've just got a sample file here and click on import. that'll be then imported into Simple Fund 360, and obviously everything like any other sort of transaction file or data feed will take place. Our matching logic will go through, any buys or sells will be processed, and obviously you'll be able to view those transactions on either the transactions screen or the smart matching screen. So that did come through. So as I mentioned, in terms of, I guess, smart matching features, if I go to there, so it's probably it's no different to any other data feed that does come through that you might have information that comes through. I've got my Cointree one here. There might be something like a fee that you want to allocate to a specific account. So you can go through and either create a rule, obviously match it off accordingly. If I go back, into the transactions list screen, in terms of, I guess, transactions, obviously this process is still taking place, but you do have the ability to, I guess, manually match payments, etc., accordingly as well. So as those transactions do come through, all the relevant information will as well. And as just touched on in terms of the data feed, it will come through in terms of what coin it is, unit price, etc. One thing we don't bring in at the moment, I guess, is valuations in terms of unit pricing, say for year end, but it's something we've discussed we might do, I guess, going forward. Year end, when you see create entries, I'll just speed, I'll just jump back to my slide. So I guess in the SMSF annual return, there is a specific section now from last year with cryptocurrency. So in terms of the ATO statistics, they are wanting to see that as a separate item. So obviously if you're creating the account directly under that 70040 account, it will appear in the correct location in the SMSF annual return, and obviously be lodged correctly into the correct place there for the ATO. Okay, so Jess, do you want to touch on the, I guess, the offer that you have for the webinar participants?
Yes, thanks, Jeevan. Yeah, so what we have is an exclusive offer for anyone who's been a part of today's webinar. If you sign up within the next 7 days, you'll be eligible for $20 of AUD credit. So if you have any questions about this, I guess once you're setting up your account, or any questions on today's webinar, you can reach out if you are a BGL client to your account manager. They'll be able to help you out and claim your credit, or alternatively, you can obviously reach out to our team as well.
Okay, so we'll go now, I guess, into open Q&A. So if you want to, I guess, ask any questions, more than welcome. If you'd like any, I guess, any more information, I guess, on Cointree and like to be contacted directly by them, I've put in the poll there. You can just mark yes or no there, or, you know, leave blank if you want, but if you want to put a yes there, we'll provide, I guess, forward your details there to Jess and Shane, and their team will be, I guess, in contact with you there. But we will stay online now for the next, I guess, 10 minutes or so to answer any questions you do have. So happy to answer any additional questions that you do have.
Let's see if you can get us on here. All righty, here we are. You get to see our faces.
Up and rolling. Oh, cool.
Yeah, hi, everyone.
Hello. Well, we might have answered everyone's questions.
Here's something. How are transactions between coins recorded
in Simple Fund 360? Jeevan?
Sorry, I missed that one. That was...
How are transactions between coins recorded in Simple Fund 360?
So if I go, I'll go back and show it, but really, I guess, think of like any other investment, there'll be a buy, sell transaction and sell transaction, and the two transactions are matched off against each other.
Yeah.
So really what we're looking for there for CGT purposes, there's a sell in one coin, a buy in the other, and then they're obviously trade across. And obviously there's no monetary value exchange, so it's just simply a buy and sell transaction.
All right, Jess, I've got one for you. Is the AUD credit available only for self-managed super funds or individuals?
Any accounts that we'll be setting up throughout from today's webinar. Yep. What else have we got here?
What are the most common requests from accountants and tax advisors in the wealth management sector? Crypto.
I think one of the most common questions has been around reporting and how an SMSF can invest in crypto, which I guess we have touched on a lot of the requirements for that today, but that's been something that's been really, really common, and particularly over the last year, we've actually had our applications increase quite significantly with self-managed super funds as well, but it's about getting the funds set up correctly and then having that right reporting in place has been from my side. Yeah.
I'm just going to pull up the Q&A panel here.
Yeah, all good. Do you have anything else to add on that one?
No, that was pretty good, yeah.
So next question there, considering the high risk factor of cryptocurrency, are there any specific safeguards as part of this integration or on BGL 360 that is relevant? So it's probably more question for me. So I guess in terms of the data feed, we treat it the same as every other data feed. So I guess we're just interested in the transactions that come through. We're not, you know, really it's the things outside which I covered in those opening slides. So have you looked at the, have you looked at the fund's trust deed? Have you looked at the fund's, I guess, investment strategy? And is the investment relevant? So it's no different, I guess, to any other investment, regardless of what it might be. But those, core things that, are relevant for any investment whatsoever. But we don't do anything additional. As part of our work papers screen, we have got additional, questions on the checklist those there. So if you are using our work papers or looking to use them, have a look at the cryptocurrency work paper there and you'll see some additional checklist questions, which will help you in terms of preparing your work papers.
There's a question here which really highlights, I guess, I don't know how to phrase it. I suppose it highlights, I guess, how much education needs to be provided to self-managed super funds and accountants, and I guess just an understanding of crypto as a whole. So the question is, can crypto be transferred from another exchange where the account was set up incorrectly in a personal name to a Cointree account that is correctly set up as a self-managed super fund? The answer to that, I guess, is it would be technically yes, but there's going to be some tax implications or some sort of cleanup that's going to be required that is probably a little bit out of our area of expertise. It would be similar to initially setting up a personal Cointree account and then wanting to investing and then trying to set it up as a self-managed super fund, which we kind of outright don't encourage or allow. I don't really know how to answer it in a way that was really going to provide anything helpful.
Yeah, I mean, from our perspective, when anyone does request a self-managed super fund account, we perform that due diligence as well to make sure they don't already have that personal account too. So there isn't that mixing of assets from that side of things. But that's why I guess we stress the importance of having everything set out afresh. And I guess it's from your own tax perspective as well to make sure that you're doing the right thing and having everything recorded correctly for the self-managed super fund.
Yeah, I suppose from the SMSF guidance too, I suppose it's again treated no different to another investment, that you want to make sure that there's no CGT implications on both the personal side or the SMSF side when doing that particular transfer. You're not triggering something like a contribution in terms of the transfer as well, and then obviously how that applies to your existing contributions. So I suppose some of the answer to that question, as you said, it depends, on the scenarios, and probably get some advice there first.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's all our questions so far.
Cool. So maybe there's no more questions. Maybe give another minute and then we can wrap things up.
Sounds good.
Maybe that's one for you, Jeevan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Angeline's touched on a good point there in terms of it might be a breach of the SIS regulations. Definitely, transfers from related parties are not allowed. Where the account's been maybe set up in error, I don't know if there's any sort of exceptions there, but possibly not. So it might be possibly a situation when they might need to sell it from their personal name and then probably repurchase any correct account name. Which is very similar to what Philip's just touched on there, is can they cash out? Obviously they can, but like no different to any other investment, it's what's the CGT implications of that?
Good to know Philip agrees.
Cool. So it looks like there's no more questions. So, so Jess, I guess if people have any questions after today, what's the best way of getting in touch with, I guess, yourself and Shane?
So there is, you're able to contact, once you do sign up, there's actually a great support portal and support team who can get back to you on technical queries. But if anyone does come back to the BGL account managers and wants to, I guess, reach out and have a conversation with myself more directly, I'm happy to pass on my details. That's fine. Okay,
perfect. All right, so Jess and Shane, thanks for your time today. And obviously, as we touched on, this will be recorded and we'll send it to all attendees. But if you do have any questions from both BGL or Cointree's perspective, please reach out. So thank you everyone for attending today.
Thank you everyone.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks everyone for joining us today.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.